Hi, everyone. I'm Julia from Krannich Solar. Thanks for joining our webinar today with K2 Systems and GreenLancer. Before we get started, I'm just going to give a quick presentation about Krannich. Krannich Solar is headquartered in Germany and was founded by Kurt Krannich. Since being founded, Krannich has expanded into 23 different countries with the capability to ship to over 100 countries. Krannich Solar has been a strong partner to PV installers since 1995 and offers everything that is required to begin and finish your solar installation. Our international purchasing power helped us build strong relationships with your favorite manufacturers, such as K2, to secure the best pricing and availability. With a growing market share, Krannich Solar is privately owned and self-financed company that ranks among the leading solar wholesalers worldwide. Our experience in delivering solar products worldwide for the last 26 years has made us experts in our field. In 2005, Krannich expanded into the US with our US headquarters in New Jersey. We also have another main branch in California with additional warehouses across the nation, including our warehouses in the Midwest and Northern California. We recently opened a branch in Florida and are expanding into Texas. We are growing every day, so keep an eye out for where we might be next. Our US team consists of over 60 employees that services the Americas and strives to offer the best services and options to our partners. Throughout the years, we have grown our product portfolio to provide over 5,000 products. We have partnered with leading manufacturers worldwide to offer the best material for a project of any size, whether it's an off-grid system, 4-paneled shingled roof, or a megawatt flat roof. Working with Krannich means you're never going to work alone. With our streamlined ordering process, each customer at Krannich receives a dedicated sales rep to walk them through each step of the ordering process, from project design to on-site delivery. The solar industry is always innovating and changing. At Krannich, we do our best to make sure you know about the latest products and technologies available. We team up with industry leaders and seasoned professionals to train you firsthand on everything you need to know, and it'll always be for free. This concludes my portion of this webinar. Here is our contact information if you would like to reach out for a quote or if you have any questions regarding the products or services we offer. Also, feel free to drop any questions in the questions chat here on GoToWebinar. Thanks again for joining us, and now I'm going to be passing this along to Johan from K2 Systems.
All right, thank you. So I will share my screen here and just quick introduction on K2. The agenda today, as mentioned, we'll go over some K2 things real quick. We'll do the base design tool with Nick. Then we'll transfer over to the GreenLancer team, and David will do a demonstration on their product as well. My name's Johan Alfson. I'm the director of training, so I manage the training team and technical support for K2. Nick Pack here is also with us, and he's a product development, product owner, working on products, and does a fantastic job driving the design tool. And as mentioned, we have GreenLancer. David will be presenting a little bit later in the presentation. So a little quick introduction to our team, our inside sales team. All of this can be found on our website. If you need support, you can talk to our technical sales team, our inside sales team. Our outside sales team is all over the country as well. So if you're looking for a rep locally, you can find that on our website. And our technical training team has been growing, which I manage. We've got Drew in New York. We just hired Dave in Texas, and myself in Northern California. Both Nick and I are in Northern California, and our company is headquartered in San Diego in Oceanside. But we do have an international presence, just like Krannich. We were founded in Germany. And if you're wondering about the Everest name, we did have the Everest name as the company grew in 2004 and started opening offices all over, including in the US. the name K2 was not available at the time, so we went with Everest. We chose the next biggest mountain. And but just in 2021, we did have the rights to the name, so we are all under the K2 brand. So if you're wondering about that Everest K2 thing, we've always been K2, and we have offices all over the world, as well as installations all over the world. So our flagship product is the Crossrail system, and all of these products that I'm showing here is just a brief overview. These products are in the base design tool, and so you can look at different systems with the Crossrail system, as far as dual rail, shared rail, tilt-up systems, our roof attachments that Nick will show you, and how you can select them in the base tool. So he'll just be doing an overview, and we do offer additional training and support for that, so do feel free to get in touch with us. But the design tool is what we're going to be focusing on, and I'll hand it over to Nick so he can show you how those products like the Crossrail and our demonstration and our roof attachments, how they are incorporated. So let me pass that over to Nick now, and he'll give you a rundown on the base design tool. And I'll stick around for questions. Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Excellent. Thanks for giving us a background on the on K2. Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be driving over our base design tool. So K2, we like to offer you a ton of support and service for your guys' projects. You guys can see my screen now, yes? I think so. So I'm right here at the K2 site. And let me move this on over. There we go. So I'm on our website right here. There's two ways that you can find our base design tool. One is right at the top where there is a button that says K2 Base. And the other way to find it is actually over here where it says Service. And you go to the Base Online Design tool right here. You'll land on the splash page for Base. A lot of tips and tricks, helpful videos in here, background on exactly what the system does. Basically, what we're trying to offer you here and trying to help you succeed in your projects with is a configurator to help you get a bill of materials, analyze your system, make sure that you guys are utilizing the equipment to the best yield, making sure that down to the last T-bolt, down to the last end clamp, mid clamp, that you guys have accurate equipment layouts for your guys' projects. So like I said, it is an online configurator for building your array or multiple arrays, dozens of projects. You can really utilize this platform to be the best in your particular region where you install, and you can also share projects as well. One of the other things we're going to be going over to today is K2 Plus and our integration with other digital solutions. So we have API bridges with inverter designers. We have the ability to download DWGs for your DWG line drawings for your CAD software. And we also have the ability to connect to solutions like Greenlancer, so they can assist you and support you with permitting in your different regions. A lot of these different AHJs that you would install in, especially if you're installing in the state of California, there's like over 40 different jurisdictions out here. So, you know, with that said, GreenLancer can help you kind of navigate all of the projects that you're doing, and all of the jurisdictional stipulations that you'll have to meet. Last but not least, you can watch this video here from Gal Rotter, who's actually our digital solutions VP, and he helps design the whole base tool. So let's get started with base. I'm going to click up top here where it says K2 Base. I already have a login for base, so it's going to recognize me immediately. And you'll see that it brought up my credential here on the bottom left-hand side. This is the splash page for the dashboard area of the actual tool, so you can see all of the old projects that I've worked on, or test projects that we've worked on, and you can archive these in any way that you wish. So let's kind of go over some of the topography of what we're looking at here. So we have some legacy buttons for navigating on the side here. These have been with the tool since its inception. So we like to keep these buttons over here on the left. For anybody who's been using the system for the past, 5, 6 years, they still know how to navigate it. Another thing that's brand new is auto saving inside the browser. So you can just click this button here to make sure that your project's automatically saving. In the past, you'd have to manually save to the project, so this is a great update. A lot of our customers asked for. Another Another thing that a lot of our customers have asked for is the ability to undo, redo. So that's these two buttons down here towards the middle. We have our download project, then upload projects. This means that if you have a team of people using Base, or even just 2 users in your installation crew that use it at your business, you guys can share projects back and forth. So let's say if Johan started a project, but he, it wasn't complete yet, or he needed some critiquing and he had some questions about the project, maybe we could fix something in a different direction. He could share that exact project with me where he left off. I can import the project, open it up, and I start exactly where he is. This is a great way for you to actually interact with our team as well, because you can send projects to us if you're stuck on something, or if you need a suggestion on how to utilize the tool a little bit better, navigate the tool a little bit better. We can support you. One of the ways we can support you doing that is this instant chat that we have right here. So this is our K2 Sherpa button. This integrates with WhatsApp and also Apple iMessage. So when you do want to chat directly with our inside sales team, a technical sales team, you can press this button right here. It does have 2 or 3 auto responses, basically asking you, some of the front end information, like, name, project type. And then after that, you should be able to get supported by a live person. So now that we've gone over the side tab, the dashboard right here is basically just a top-down view of all your projects. You can see it in list format like this, or you can see it in grid format where it's basically in columns. Past that, you can really organize your projects the way you'd like to have them organized. I have a lot in progress, and I should have way more completed, but it's because I keep doing a lot of activity. So with that said, let's go to the large new project button. So the K2 Base tool, actually, it's regionalized to where you actually are operating. So when you first sign into it, you tell it where you actually are operating, like if you're in the United States, or if you're in Mexico, or if you're in a region of South America. So it'll concatenate to that actual location, or basically place you in that location. Right now, it's just placing us in the center of the United States, which is in this Edmos point of Texas. Every project does have an address. So I actually have a terrific address that we're going to work with today that's off of Bellingham Drive in Oceanside. This is just about 15 minutes from our Oceanside headquarters. We got a perfect candidate for solar here. What I'm going to try and simulate to you today is basically like if I was a sales organization, or if I was an installer and we needed to rapidly design a project for a homeowner who we just sold our services and solar installation to. So this is the homeowner's address. I'm going to zoom in a little bit further here. It looks like we got a nice flat tile roof on a little bit newer home, and all of the neighbors have solar except for this neighbor. So everybody's reaping the benefits of return on investment by putting rooftop solar on their house, and this customer would like to do the same, and we're going to do it for them. So this is going to be the tile house Oceanside. And there's the only thing that you need for your project in this portion of the tab. As you can see, it's highlighted as project. You'll see these other ones that are not highlighted yet because the tool's not going to let us erroneously go through the tool without providing information about the project. For this project tab, all you have to do is have the address and then give the project a name. There are other parameters here and other fields that you can opt in to fill out, and we'll go over those real quick here. So like, for instance, let's say this particular homeowner wants this installation completed by the end of September. So we'd say that this needs to be installed on their property and up and running, or at least the mechanical and installation part needs to be done by the 30th of September. This can help you stay organized on the dashboard as well, so you can organize all your projects. We have our design method as ASC 716. This is the current standard that is adopted across the United States in most jurisdictions, which basically explains what the actual cantilevers of the rail are, how many roof attachments should be placed upon the roof, and it basically has some of the engineering design methods that are applicable to most jurisdictions, ASC 716. We can give you older figures as well, and if you are in Europe or if you're in Mexico, per your login, it'll actually basically concatenate to those or be organized in those factors for you. So we'll use 716 because that's most likely the standard in Oceanside where we know it's the standard in Oceanside. So anyhow, any information you want to put about the customer here, like if their name, their contact information, if you have any kind of hashtags that you use in your internal database to track projects or things like that, or to run any reports, you can use those as well. But like I said, all you need is the address, project name. It'll automatically go to the design method for you, and we're going to move from projects over to the loads of the area, which we mean by wind loads, any kind of snow load in the area. It's Southern California, so it's going to pull that information from the address. Any historical weather information will come up. My internet service is a little bit slow sometimes when I'm using the camera, and so just give it a second to catch up there. But so what it's doing right now, yes, there is no wind or snow load in the area. You can see here, there's 0 PSF of snow in Oceanside. I don't know, the last time it snowed down in San Diego was probably way before our time. Anyhow, the only thing you need to do in this loads portion of the actual page is it's already pulling historical weather information from this zip code right here. The only thing that you need to tell this project is what type of wind exposure is this, because it's a pretty broad area of Oceanside, and we don't know if it's coastal or if it's inland. So we're going to click on this menu. Is it an urban setting? Is it open terrain, open waterway? Like, is it by a lake or is it by the ocean? This one is a little bit more inland, so we're going to go ahead and use wind exposure category B. And it's going to we're basically just telling the software that we don't need to double up on roof attachments or anything because the wind exposure is really not that strong. As you can see here, maximum historical information is telling us that it's basically 96 miles per hour, which is still high, just letting you know that it's not nearly as wild as it is down in the coastal areas. That's all the information that needs to be inputted into this part, and it'll take us to the roof portion of the configurator. Now that we know which house it is, we've already defined that, we can zoom in just a little bit tighter on this house and really kind of get an idea of where we're going to design on this roof. This is actually a terrific roof to design on because, one, it's a very good rectangle, like I said, and I think we have terrific exposure, and we're going to get great production out of this roof. Now, it's going to ask us some architectural information about the house. What type of roof are we actually designing on today? Well, we're designing on a gabled roof today, but we do have the options for flat, mono pitch, and hipped roofs as well. Since we are only going to be designing on the south side of this house, we're going to be choosing gabled. Gabled's going to tell us that the common roof shapes for gabled are rectangles or squares. It's going to automatically choose that for you. And it's going to give you the options of different roof coverings. We have tile, which it is, but we also have comp shingle, trapezoid metal, sheet metal, or standing seam metal. And we have membrane and gravel materials, which are used more applicable for flat roofs. So I'm going to go ahead and click tile, and this is going to go great with our cross-rail system. It's going to go even better with some of the new tile hooks that we've brought to the market, really enhancing the install practice of putting in tile hooks. And we have new tile hooks that have a built-in water barrier on the bottom of butyl. Super speedy, super safe to install. You can title the roof anything that you wish here. You don't have to. It's just going to call it roof number 1. If we added more roofs to it, it would automatically just calculate which roof it is, roof 1, 2, 3, 4, as we go along. But if you want to put any information here, like south, or how about let's put backyard. So now when our installation crew gets there and they're reading through the plan set, they know exactly where it's going to go. Pretty common that it'd be south-faced, but sometimes, you know, you want to put helpful instructions in there. Now you'll notice when I hit add, it's going to turn the cursor of the mouse into a crosshair. What I can do now is I can draw across the actual structure here, and we'll be able to select where we're going to put solar on this house. I'm going to start at the southwest portion or the bottom left of the house. I'm going to click once, drag to the right, and we have just about 46 feet of horizontal space. I'm going to try and line it up with the house as best as I can. And this is going to be perfect. Our customer asked us for about a 9.6 kilowatt system. We're going to click once on the right, and then I'm going to drag up to the top of the house. I think we can get 18.5. There we go. Now what I've done now is I've established the roof zone. This is where all of the solar is going to go on the house. We could put multiple arrays inside of this roof zone, or we could just put one broad array across it. We do need to make sure that the pitch is accurate with the actual house. When we did our on-site visit, it was about a 26-degree pitch. From this portion of the roofing page, we know that the roof is a tile roof. We can change any kind of rafter spacing if we know that maybe this particular house had 16-inch on center. Normally in the West Coast, especially in California, you're most commonly going to see 24-inch on center right there. After that, we're on our way to finishing the roof portion of that. And we're going to go ahead and click continue. And that's going to take us to the last portion of this. If there's any other exposures to the roof. Like if you do know of any other snow load in the area, like I said, it's oceanside. We don't have any of that. So we're going to keep on driving. Let me just check how I'm doing for time here. Got a couple more minutes left, so I got to get over to the results tab. Going to click continue from here. If there's any outstanding obstructions like large pipe vents, anything like that, chimney maybe over to the left, you can classify it here in the obstructions. There's nothing on this particular roof, so we're just going to keep on driving, click continue, and it's going to take us to the design portion where we select modules. So here is your module landing page. We have a fully packed module library. You can pick from any modules that you've ever seen on the market out there in this vast library that we have, hundreds of modules in there. But the one thing that we actually added to the tool that's very helpful is we added this filter here for you to put in modules that are only UL approved for our Crossrail system. So this will take all of those hundreds of modules and sync it down to dozens for you. So I'm going to go ahead and select some Q-cell modules that we were providing to this customer, the 400 watt series G10s. These are terrific modules. Modules are getting larger and larger these days, but performance is also being added with those larger modules as we get these bigger modules in the market. Going to go ahead and click continue here. It's going to ask me what type of system are we going to install onto the system, or onto this property, or onto this roof, excuse me. We're going to be installing the Crossrail system. And it's going to ask me, would you like the tool to automatically fit the array for you, or would you like to draw the array yourself? That's the difference between module layout complete roof, where the system does it for you in the specified area, or with module array where you can draw it yourself. I'm going to draw it myself. I'm going to tell it exactly where I would like to have this particular array. After that, we know that it's parallel, or what everybody considers a flush attach on the roof. And then we're going to be going for a portrait orientation. I'm going to click add, and then you'll also notice once more my cursor will turn into a crosshair, and I'll be able to click on one side and drag the array across the roof. So there we go. We can fill in the entire area. So dimensionally, this is telling me that we can fit 2 by 12, 24 total modules on this roof, 9.6 kW array per our calculations. It's exactly what the customer asked for. We can even slim this down and position it a little bit more strategically on the roof here if we'd like. We can get it centered as much as possible, and I can move it around. Let's say, for instance, if we wanted to make a unique type of geometry to this, like for instance, like if there was maybe a chimney in the middle of the roof, and I wanted to get rid of one module or 2 modules, I could click on this delete modules and restore modules button right here, and I can remove modules as needed. Or let's say there was an obstruction over here and I needed to remove a module. So very simple and easy to do, but this is going to be a perfect rectangle. We're going to be able to install this rapidly on the house. Customer is going to be happy. Kilowatt target was met, and we're able to move on. I'm going to go ahead and click continue. And then from there, calculation of the total modules on the roof. We have 9.6 kW, trying to get over to the results tab so we can import this or export this over to GreenLancer here and be conscious of everybody's time real quick. So I'm going to click continue. It's analyzing the system here. You're getting a top-down view of how the actual install will be staggered across the roof. You can see the roof attachments have already automatically been staggered for you, and it's giving you a top-down look of the rafters and, of course, the roof zones that we have stipulated on the house. This is a taller 2-story building, so we want to make sure that we put the array towards the core of the actual roof, giving us a lot less uplift on the sides of the house with wind. Let's talk roof attachments here. This is in the results tab. This is where you actually select what type of products you would like to have to install on this house. It was a flat tile roof, so we do have the first flat tile hook that we have in the actual lineup here is the Flat Tile Hook X. This is the brand new one from our EverSeal product line, which has the butyl on the bottom, which assists you in installing this rapidly, waterproofing it rapidly. If you haven't seen our EverSeal product line, the splice foot for comp shingle, the EverSeal hooks for tile, definitely check out our newsletters, our YouTube videos, and coordinate with any of our sales team. They can get you samples of them to review. I'm going to select the flat tile hook X with the butyl on the bottom for rapid install. This customer did express that they do want to use tile replacement flashings. They don't want to have any like grinding of the tile going on the property. So our replacement tile systems are fantastic. We have the ability to select either flat tile, S tile, or W tile. These are the ones with the locking tabs on the side, so you don't have to fight them to get them to fit into the roof. Perfect for this project. Like I said, we want a nice, clean, rapid install. And after that, we're going to be using our one of the best rails we have in the market right now, which is our 44X rail. Light in weight, but definitely high in performance. We're going to be selecting any other accessories that we'd like to have here. So we're going to use the end caps to keep any debris from collecting out the bottom or on the sides of the rail. We're definitely going to be mounting on power optimizers, so we're going to need those MLP hardware kits, and that's going to put one per module. Wire management is a big deal in this industry, so we have taken that very seriously at K2. So we offer a couple of options for your area. We do even have a stainless steel wire clip. Some jurisdictions even require those. So if you'd like to, you can use that hay clip, cable clip, mounts onto the side of the rail, can even fit on the module, certain module flanges it'll fit on. With that said, wire management clips ready to go, Omega clips are ready to go, and I'm gonna go ahead and click continue. It's analyzed our array, everything's looking great here. You can even see the splices in between the rails, and let's keep driving, and we'll get over to the results tab, and we're finished. So we have a total BOM right here. You can get images of all of the equipment you're going to install. Where's that flat tile hook X with the butyl pad underneath, lag screws included. And from here, I'm going to hand it on off to David over at GreenLancer. And you can actually find the GreenLancer button here at the bottom. So I already have an account with GreenLancer. I do recommend that you sign up for GreenLancer to have this integration work. So what this API bridge does is we can basically import a project that you just designed, this exact design right here, all of the equipment, all of the static information about the performance of the system, where it is, all of that information will travel over to GreenLancer, and you'll be able to request permitting support. So we have an abundance of different solutions here. GreenLancer is right here towards the bottom. It's going to recognize my login, and this is where I get to select any type of permit packagings and options that are available. So from there, I go to request, and then after that, it'll send it over to GreenLancer, and then I'll go ahead and hand it on over to David, who can explain the services and support that GreenLancer offers with their technology.
Thank you, Nick.
And presenter to David. All right, just sent it over, David.
All right, thank you, Nick. That was awesome. Thank you to everyone who's attending today. We should be seeing my screens. I'm going to pick up that ball that Nick just dropped off here in a second and go through a few slides about GreenLancer, who we are, what we're here to do. So we are solar design and engineering made to order. I want to simplify this process as much as possible. GreenLancer was founded to accelerate adoption of solar energy throughout the United States and the rest of the world. Our mission is to make subcontracting solar permitted designs and engineering simple and fast for installers. So no more dealing with emails, no more dealing with paper. Everything is going to be held online, and we're going to really accelerate that process. How it works, GreenLancer is an online platform that allows solar installers to order permit designs, engineering services, and all other solar solutions from an on-demand network of providers, saving installers time and money. So it's a pretty easy 4-step process. You create your account, which is totally free. You don't ask for a monthly membership fee or anything like that. Once you have your account started, you can create a solar project, browse and order our fulfillment services. As soon as those services are completed, you'll be able to download those PDFs, take them to the permitting office or the local municipality. Why GreenLancer? We are a digital-first industry leader in solar permitting and engineering for 9 years. We are standardized, fast, competitively priced for permitting designs and engineering. Everything is very simple being routed through our platform in terms of communication and project tracking. We offer commercial and residential solar solutions. Typical turnaround time for a residential project is 48 hours. We have an in-house customer support team, such as myself, to provide quality designs, and we do have competitive pricing. You see this little map on our right-hand side. That's our solar footprint for, I believe, this year up to date. On the residential side, we offer feasibility studies down into the permit-ready plan sets, structural, electrical engineering, and you'll only be hooked up with a state-certified structural and electrical engineer through our platform. We can support your interconnections with the utility, take that burden off of your team, and we can expedite and perform the actual permit running upon cases and situations. Same thing on the C&I side, the commercial and industrial services. We'll help out with the feasibilities. Again, the permit plan sets, structural engineering, review and stamps, interconnection, and then much more prominent on the C&I side, our financial analysis. So we can run all those numbers before you do move forward with the project. And again, project management through our platform. And this is where I'll pick up that ball that Nick dropped off. So here we can see that project that he was just working on inside the base program, House Oceanside. You can see right here that service Nick selected, API'd right over to our platform, it says ready to download. Once I click into this quote right here, you'll see there's the service that Nick created. It's awaiting purchase. Here's the total cost. If we go a step deeper, we can click into that service, and here's where we can add company information. We'll always have the ability to add additional information about the project, maybe the home's structural existing information, the home's existing electrical information, any and all other equipment we intend on using. This is where we can capture all of that information. So we'll have a few drop boxes you can utilize. Of course, a few text boxes if there's any special requirements that you know that you've dealt with in that area before. Load everything up. We'll save the changes. And the checkout process is just like any other e-commerce website. You just input a credit card, push that order through. Once you do check out, you'll find that service here on the services tab, one of one. So this is saying it's in progress. Design team is currently working on it. On the left-hand side, you'll be able to view all the information that you input. And through our platform, like I was discussing earlier, we'll have instant communication. So this discussion board is going to link you and the fulfillment partner, whether that's a structural electrical engineer or one of the designers. This is essentially a communication board where you can talk directly with the one supporting your work. And then we'll always have our in-house team here to provide phone support or anything like that. And that is about it for me. I believe I'm throwing this back to Krannich, correct?
Yeah, if anyone has any questions about the webinar or what was talked about today, please feel free to throw it in the chat and we can use this time to answer some of those questions. So far, I'm seeing someone asked if they would be sent a copy of this recording of the webinar, and at the end, you will receive a recording to your email with the whole video. So another question we're being asked here is if the K2 base system is free.
That's a great question. It is. Yeah, everything Nick went through is just a quick overview, and it is a free tool, so you can sign up now and get it going. And we also offer free training. So if you want to learn this system more in depth, we offer a one-on-one training. So if your design team wants to go through this in more depth and actually design a system, our inside sales reps, our technical sales reps, our outside sales reps, and our trainers can all help you get that done and understand how it works. So there's a lot of features built into it. Nick just skimmed the surface and went through it pretty quickly, but there's a lot of options on there. He mentioned our splice foot, which I have actually one right here. This is our most popular comp shingle mount system. And this goes into the rafter and into the decking. As you can see, the different various holes here. And the reason I bring this up is because you can go in there into the design tool, put in your address of the home, the project, and then select deck attach and figure out if those spans make the most sense. You know, deck attaching in Southern California might be a much more attractive thing than maybe in New Jersey, where you might have a lot of snow, the rafters are closer together, you know, the math might not work out, or maybe the speed of doing deck attach still makes the most sense for you. So it's a great tool to kind of look at what is the best scenario for your team. You know, cost is obviously important, but speed of install is important, and then adding up how many mounts and, you know, the way you're attaching. So we can help with that training as far as design software, and then also your installation team and in best practices and how to install it. So just let us know if that's something you want to do.
That's absolutely true, Johan. And we're continuing to explore different applications and APIs that will assist you in making your projects more successful. For the boots on the roof, making sure they have the right materials and they're deployed out to the right projects, all the way down to, you know, your project coordinators who need to make sure they're scheduling properly and they have good data up front. One of the other API bridges that are coming are more front-end sales ones. You know, we've been talking with a lot of them out there, like your Solos and your helioscopes and your Auroras. And we're building not just back-end API bridges, we're building front-end ones as well. So you can take projects from other applications and import those projects into Base, get a comprehensive look at the bill of materials, get an accurate look at what the structure is capable of, and be able to, like I said, deploy the right equipment out to the job site. And with what GreenLancer brings to the table, where you can lean on their resources and expertise for making sure that you have rapid permitting. So, you know, it all comes down to being super efficient, and the technical training team that Johan manages can always help you guys, whether they're on the roof or on site, with how to best practices install our equipment and really get the most of your investment with K2. And our technical sales team can always help you learning how to use our software. Just like Johan said, we went over it right under 20 minutes, but you can easily make a bill of materials on the Base tool under 5 minutes, 6 minutes, I believe. So, and that's getting all of that information about your project up front. And still, by doing so, you have the ability to share it with GreenLancer. You have the ability to use our API bridges and analyze inverters as well. You can share CAD drawings with other departments. So a lot of features packed into Base, and we're really excited to keep it going.
And another thing to add, I did put some links in the chat that were related. Nick mentioned roof attachments and some specific products, and I put the links in there. I also put the link to our contact page that has our whole sales team, and you can also get in touch with anyone really in the sales department. And then I did also want to mention that there are some tutorials on this, and this is actually helpful for distributor reps as well. So if your distributor rep from Krannich is not or is using this tool and has an account, you can go back and forth and share those files and see, you know, when you get that BOM, you have the BOM from K2 and it has everything incorporated. It has the design in there. It helps the designers, the installers, and your distributor rep know what the part numbers and what products you need. And I think some of them build in some extra parts too, right, Nick? Or you have that option to throw some in?
That's correct. You can actually go and edit your BOM and put in maybe like 2% more of this, or, you know, maybe you want to make sure they have extra T-bolts or things like that. You can always go in and modify the BOM on the back end. Like if you want, I can take the screen and show you guys real quick here. We did have one question here that is might be outside of my wheelhouse, but I'm going to try and answer it for you. So the question is, do you have anything in the tools that would help us with suggested cable layouts for something like Tigo TS4 or similar NEC rapid shutdown? Is that rapid shutdown modules or just RSD accessories? Whoever typed in that question, is there any way you can get a little bit more specific with that? Because when it comes to any kind of RSD accessories, yeah, let me go ahead here. Main screen, show screen. Terrific here. So yeah, the question was about rapid shutdown and selecting the right equipment. How do I find it? We don't have any API bridges with Tigo at this time. We have been talking to all of the RSD and rapid shutdown microinverter power optimizer companies. I'll go ahead and go over really quick what's available in the K2 Plus inverter designers real quick here. We do offer Fronius, GoodWe, Coastal, SMA, which does utilize Tigo optimization. So we just hosted a webinar with Michael and Alfonso last week regarding the integration of Sunny Design. Sunny Design will assist you with Tigo accessories, but it's not, I believe it's a drop-down menu in their Sunny Design configurator. This way you can select the type of grid that you're going to be connecting to. You can select the kind of equipment you're going to be deploying with SMA, and there is a drop-down menu for the Tigo optimization. So, but as far as cable lengths, I don't know if it does that. It's definitely worth signing up for with the SMA tool, so you can have access to a lot more of their technology. So I would have to say, I think you can find out the correct cable lengths, but I'm not absolutely certain. But I definitely sign up for the SMA Sunny Design because it does have a menu for Tigo optimization inside of that. Johan did mention modifying a bill of materials, simple to do. So we're at the summary page, the same place that we did the handoff to GreenLancer here. If I want to edit my bill of materials, I just click Edit BOM. I click on anything. Let's say we want to send out a couple extra rails out to that job site. Right now, we only got 13 rails going to that job site. If I want to say, hey, let's give that team 2 more rails, and we want to make sure that they just have a couple more rail connectors there, and or you know they had 12 before, we're going to give them 14. How about 14, not 144? Sorry about that. How about 14? So after that, click Apply. It'll automatically put those amendments in there. They are highlighted green, so you will see that you did make an amendment on it. If you need to reset it, you can reset it. So this can be deployed to your internally to your team. If you want to send it to Krannich in Excel, you can export to Excel. Just the bill of materials. You want the line drawing of the module plan, that is at one click. A full comprehensive report on the entire plan. I don't need a balance plan because this is a flash attached, but we can download that PDF very rapidly here. And basically, it gives you all the information you need in regarding to the project. I know that we are highlighting GreenLancer as a rapid permit support and making sure that you get all of your information from them and they can assist you with getting permitting very quickly. But in some jurisdictions, if there is a jurisdiction out there that does offer over-the-counter permits, I don't think they do anymore, David, but we tried to pack this permit package and report in with everything that you could possibly think of. So every question that the AHJ would ask, you know, total footprint of the system, line drawing of the system, loads on the actual array, everything should be in here. The last page is your BOM, which you can send this BOM over to your distributor. So you can send that over to Krannich and they can help you out with this material. Like I was saying, lots of tools built in here. You have the ability, a lot of people are fond of using AutoCAD or using any kind of DWG drawers, even Google SketchUp. You can take this DWG here and you can throw that into Google SketchUp. So, and it'll take this exact line drawing right here, dimensionally, and it'll provide it for you in a digital workstation file. So like I said, a lot of features packed into this system, multiple different roofs. Was there one more question? Sorry, I can keep going on and on. Sorry.
Yeah, I think they were just clarifying that it was a rapid shutdown module, like best placement for the module when you have a dense layout and where to put the modules for the best cabling.
Ooh, that is I don't want to make an assumption on that. So I would have to ask that particular module manufacturer where that would go. I'm going to take a shot in the dark here, and I'd say most likely at your wire transition or your home run, like towards the end of the array. So if you were to start at the beginning of your circuit, right, I think you would put it at the end of your circuit. But that's a little outside my wheelhouse for the placement of the actual RSD module by itself. I am a little bit more fond in placement of microinverters and placement of power optimizers, which also perform RSD. So specifically SolarEdge ones. So
yeah, I think it depends on the layout of the array. If you got a perfect square, if you got some offset module rows, it's going to change the way it goes out. So I think I haven't played with those yet, but similarly to like a solar edge, if you have that on the rail or the module, there's definitely a distance, and usually I repeat that distance and measure it out so that your wire connection is not drooping too much or extending too far, you're not pulling too hard on the wire. So it's kind of a tricky thing, but it's more playing it with it on the roof and seeing how you can best maximize the extension of the wire, but not pull on it too tight. So it's kind of a tricky one. I'd have to get the modules in our training room and try to play with it, or just be on a job site. I was looking at the additional questions from Douglas. Oh, best cabling. Yeah, wire management's a tricky one. There's no one answer. I'd have to just play with them on the job site. There's usually a one wire management expert on a crew who takes it on, but I don't have one solid answer for that. But you know, if I do come up with it, we'll definitely make a video out of it. It's not a bad idea. We have some videos on wire management already.
All right, so if there are no more questions that anyone has, then I believe this concludes our webinar for today. If you do have any more questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to either us here at Krannich, K2 Systems, or GreenLancer. But thanks again for joining, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Thank you, everybody.
People of Krannich, thank you. David, GreenLancer, thanks for attending. All of you guys out there, Johan, Dakota, Julia, thanks for making these happen. We appreciate everybody coming.